I've always been into cars ever since I can remember. Even from, when I was 8, 9, 10, 11, I was drawing cars and then started, making model cars. It's just in my blood. I don't know where it came from. I don't really have a long history or family history of cars or anything like that. But yeah, it's just something that's in my blood, and I absolutely love it. It's a great passion of mine, and it's a great hobby. Hot rodding in Australia is it's great. Since owning the Model A and building the little modified, I've realised how many events there are, and look, most of them are pretty low key, which is actually really cool. There's a big, I guess, culture of with the traditional hot rod scene, which is what I'm primarily into. There's a lot of events like Boogaloo, Chopped, just the little events that Black Forest run and RCCRC. They're just they're awesome. So it's just a great way to get together with like-minded people and just seeing other people's cars and how they build them and just getting involved and just being outdoors and driving around country Victoria, which is amazing. One of the reasons why I live in Melbourne. My approach to fabrication and building is really all in my head. I do a lot of thinking, a lot of sleepless nights, designing or developing a part of the car or the whole car itself in my head. So it all gets planned in my head first, and from there, once I've worked out the solution in my head, it's just a matter of applying it to the metal or the car, and I find that the easiest part. It's the developing and the planning in my head that's the hardest. So, but it's enjoyable at the same time. I love problem solving and working out a way to do things. The biggest thing I enjoy is the build of a car rather than the actual driving. I actually prefer to be in the workshop, welding and grinding away and actually creating something versus actually driving it. Most of the cars that I've built, I've actually sold not long after I've finished them. The Model A is actually the first car that that I'm going to keep for at this stage forever. I'm having a lot of fun with it. The car is a 1929 Ford Roadster Model A. It was purchased. I actually bought it from the States when I was on a trip to Speed Week up in Utah in 2014. That was cancelled and rained out, so a mate and I that I was over there with went to LA just for a bit of a look around. While in LA, we had a look in Old Crow Speed Shop, and it was this Roadster was sitting in the corner, and I asked one of the fellas if it's for sale, and cutting a long story short, basically I bought it as it was, and it was actually getting, the guy that owned it was building it for the Racer Gentleman for 2014, but obviously I bought it beforehand and got it shipped over, and here it is. I've done a lot to it, but in its, I guess the overall look of it is pretty similar to how I bought it. I've made the aluminium hood and sides, and the body's been off, and adjusted things and making sure everything was okay and safe. I mean, it was pretty much just thrown together. It's got an 8BA in it, an old clapped out 8BA, 39 trans. It's just got all the typical sort of traditional style stuff on it. It's a great car. I drive it as much as I can, and it's been a really good, reliable, fun car.